What's good, y'all? So this literally happened right after I tried to upload my video. The Washington Commanders addressed the center position that is heavily beat up right now, especially with Chase Roulier probably gone for the season now with the knee injury. The Washington Commanders had to address the center position with having nobody there, along with Chase Roulier now possibly being out for the season again. You have no Tyler Larson, who's still on the physical and able to perform this, and he's not able to return until week 5 versus the Titans. We were struggling there, and the Washington Commanders decided to sign Nick Wright, a former Texan, a former Raider, to be the new center. So we addressed that position. And I wouldn't be surprised if we signed maybe 2 or 3 more just for some depth pieces behind Nick Wright. So that's the signing there. And now enjoy the rest of this video. YouTube, what's going on? It's Juan Gotti here with another Washington Commanders video, and in today's video, I'm coming on here with the video where we're going to be talking about Jamin Davis calling out Jack Del Rio, also some injury updates, and also some signings that we've made. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. But before we do, make sure to go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, and turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload a video about the NFL, or in this case, our Washington Commanders. We're on the road to 5,000 subscribers, so hit that subscribe button again if you haven't already. Let's get straight into today's video. So ladies and gentlemen, as you guys know, this past week, it was a little bit of some drama that was going on with the Washington Commanders. When is it never drama going on with us, right? This past week, Jack Del Rio had some comments to make about linebacker Jamin Davis, and he basically said he wasn't good, he has to be better, so on and so forth. And was he wrong? No. Was he wrong of how he handled it? Me personally, if I'm a coach and my player is not playing well and he's not doing what we taught him and he's not showing what we thought he was going to show coming out of training camp, since they said he had a good training camp, if I was a coach personally, I would have handled that privately. I would have pulled my player to the side and told him, hey man, you know what I'm saying, you're not playing good, you need to do this. I wouldn't have aired him out publicly. So was Jack Del Rio wrong for what he said about Jamin Davis? No, he wasn't wrong, because Jamin wasn't playing good, but how he went about it, how he handled it, me personally, I wouldn't have done it that way. I would have done it private but kept it behind closed doors, because now you airing him out is not only going to bring more attention to Jamin Davis, but that's going to also have Ron Rivera having to answer questions, because you already know Ron is the head coach. So obviously whatever Jack Del Rio say, his comments, especially with his shaky pass, and especially some stuff he said this past offseason, every time they ask something about, something towards the Jack Del Rio, they're going to always ask Ron Rivera, how does he feel about the comments? And he said Jack wasn't wrong. He seconds him and stuff like that. So there's a whole bunch of stuff. More of the story, they called Jamin Davis out and said he needs to play better. Okay, boom. Jamin Davis gets to Sunday's game. Jamin Davis actually looks like he was playing better. He had a sack. Jamin Davis then, after the game, after the game, after we lost, they had a press conference again, and it kind of seemed, I don't know to you guys, but it kind of seemed to me like they were trying to use Jamin Davis as a scapegoat. They basically named him and said he needs to play better. I'm like, bro, okay, y'all already said that once, but let's not act like Jamin Davis is the only one out there sitting there playing defense by himself. It's not just Jamin Davis, but in my opinion, it felt like they was trying to use him as a scapegoat, because they aired his name out single-handedly. They didn't say nobody else's name single-handedly. Why didn't you say William Jackson needs to play better? Why didn't you say this pass rush needs to be better? Why didn't you say David Mayo needs to be better? But you wanted to say Jamin Davis' name, though. I mean, I honestly think they are realizing that they whiffed on the 19th overall pick. That's clear. Because, I mean, you don't put your 19th overall first-round pick in the game on 3rd and 2. I don't care if you feel like David Mayo is a better run stopper. If you don't think he can help in the run game, run support, you shouldn't have drafted him at 19, point-blank period. And I feel like they are trying to use Jamin Davis as a scapegoat. Like, again, I'm not defending Jamin. Jamin definitely has to be better, but use his skill set to what he's good at. Obviously, he's a much better blitzer than he is a stand-up linebacker. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying he's Micah Parsons at all, but maybe try him in that role. Going to get after the quarterback looks the part. It looks like that's what he should be doing instead of playing coveraging linebacker. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like this coaching staff, they whiffed on this move. Not going to lie to you. But we knew that though. We knew that. Us fans knew that. We knew Jamin Davis wasn't the first one. But when that 2021 draft, what were the linebacker names that we heard coming up out of that draft? No Jamin Davis. Jamin Davis' name started to come up after he had the great comeback. But before that, it was just Zaven Collins. Who else was in that class? It was Zaven Collins. Was it I forgot his name. I don't think Nick Bolton was in that draft class, but it was other linebackers in that class. None of their names were Jamin Davis. So Jamin, we fell in love with him because of what we thought he can do. We thought we fell in love with him because of what his potential could be. We as fans thought it was a good pick at the time because we thought we had two coaches that played the linebacker role that were going to be able to get the most out of Jamin Davis. So yes, okay, Jamin Davis, it's his job to go out there and play. But he is a developmental player. How do you expect him to get good if you're not developing him the right way? And it's clear as day that he's not getting developed the right way. You're not using him for his skill set. He is not a stand-up linebacker. Clearly, anytime he rushes the passer, that's what it looks like he's doing. Anytime you send him on a blitz, that's looking like what he thrives in. But I mean, this coaching staff, they just clearly don't get it. But I wanted to come on here to start the video about that because there was an article, because after the game, after they said that, Jamin Davis had something to say. He called out Jack Del Rio, I guess. But this is an article by Washington Wire or Commanders Wire. Let's see what they had to say. So it says, Washington Commanders defensive coordinator Jack Del Rio weekly press conference last week was highlighted by his surprise criticism of second-year linebacker Jamin Davis. Then this is what he quoted. This is what out of Jack Del Rio's mouth during the weekly press conference he said about Jamin Davis. He said, and I quote, Jamin was just okay in the game. Del Rio said, I think he practiced better throughout the offseason. It was just a so-so performance. I think he'll do better as the year goes on. It's not often that coaches outwardly criticize a specific player. Head coach Ron Rivera has critiqued players needing to be more assignment sound, but the normal Del Rio appearance to be making a point with his public critique of Davis. Del Rio really isn't in position to criticize anyone publicly. Has he watched his defense since the beginning of 2021 season? And that's a question mark. Has he seen the embarrassment amount of missed assignments and busted coverages? There are far more issues than a young linebacker. And that's what I was trying to just say a couple minutes ago. And we know this, fans. We know this, guys. We know this. We talk about it. We see it. It's more than just the players, bro. It's the scheme. It has to be. Okay, Del Rio really and then he says this on Monday. Davis took to his Instagram post a curious message that one on Twitter using the caption Jamin Davis posted a video and said resilient as ever. So basically, Jamin Davis posted something on his Twitter or his Instagram account where it says resilient as ever, and he posted like a little clip from a movie where it says he does all this stuff and all they do is criticize, and that got the internet exploding in the Washington community. But then he later deleted the post because he clearly saw he was trying to make a point. But let's continue to read on with the article. It says the post is now deleted. While I will not get into the content of the message, I certainly seem curious considering the time and Davis has since deleted the post. The post was also liked by safety Bobby McCain. This is not a good look. I tend to side with Davis in this situation, but you don't use social media to take passive aggressiveness shots at your coach. Address him directly or to the head coach, and veteran players certainly should be liking this post or shouldn't be liking this post. If Davis was using a social media platform to take a shot at Del Rio and the coaching staff, what does it say about this team's culture? All fans hear about is how the culture has completely changed. Now you know why defensive tackle and captain Jonathan Allen says he hates social media. He understands the toxic nature of it and how it can sweep the locker room. Allen has also stated he doesn't like to blame coaches because players need to take care of their business on the field. Davis is understandably frustrated here. I sympathize with him. The coaches have mishandled his development, as I just said. You drafted him to do one thing and realized he was better somewhere else. Now, 2 games into a new season, you already throwing the towel in on the young linebacker. Here's an idea: find the things he does best and use him there. He looked pretty good as a blitzer on Sunday. Oh my God, Juan Gotti, you're smart. Juan Gotti, you're smart. Fans out there, you're smart because we clearly see that, right? We see that he's good as a blitzer, and they don't want to use him. And we see that last year. Okay, we're smart. Maybe we should be the ones getting paid millions of dollars to make these decisions. Okay, we do this for free. Continuing on with this, he says, as far as the coaching, maybe they feel like they've done all they can with Davis and he isn't progressing. That is also possible too. But keep it in-house. Do you think Joe Gibbs would have thrown in one of his players under the bus? Question mark. At this point, everything is speculation. But if Davis truly had a problem with the public criticism, he should have spoke with Rivera. And as far as McCain liking the post, it's a bad look. Pull the young players aside and talk to him. Don't encourage it. So that's the article right there by Command Wire. That's a really good article, by the way. Again, like I said, man, I said it in my video. Jamin Davis, they are mishandling his development. It's clear. And Jack Del Rio is in no space to talk about someone being bad, bro, because your whole defense is terrible. It has to be your scheme. It's multiple players that are now coming. I mean, Derek Forrest literally came on this press conference and said it felt like they knew what we were in. I mean, they knew our scheme. They knew what plays we were calling. That should say a lot about this defense and how it's ran, man. So that's crazy. But I mean, that's the other part of the video. Now let's get to some other news, man. We got an injury report to recover a little bit. So Cameron Curl has been cleared for practice, so that is a good thing. Or cleared, I guess you would say. I didn't say specifically what he's cleared for, but it says he's cleared, I guess. So we'll see if he has his status for Sunday versus Philadelphia, because we're gonna need him. And Daniel Wise is dealing with a high ankle sprain, and the more important injury is that Chase Roulier is now going to be on short-term IR, and there is a fear that we lost him for the season, according to NFL Network. So that's very unfortunate because, I mean, we just got him back. We just lost him last year for the whole season. So now we're on the verge of possibly losing him again for the whole season. He left Ford Field in crutches, so it's very unfortunate, and that's what I hate about this game, man. Injuries, especially when the offensive lineman, man. It was the very last play of the game, man. The very, very last play of the game, and he gets rolled up on, not even his fault. And now he could possibly be out for the rest of the year. So we need to go find a center because Tyler Larson is not even able to come off of injury reserve until week 5. So we are looking for a center. And Wes Schweitzer is dealing with a hamstring himself. So this offensive line is in shambles right now. And then the last thing we'll talk about is the Washington Commanders signing John Ridgeway, I believe that's his name, off the Dallas Cowboys practice squad, off the waiver, I would say. And we now need depth there too, because Daniel Wise dealing with an ankle sprain, but Eric Mathis is already out for the rest of the season. So all we have is Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne, and Jonathan Allen dealing with the groin injury and had to overuse him because we didn't have any depth. So, hey, man, it's going to be a tough time right now, but hopefully we can get through it. But, yeah, man, it's me and boy Wyatt Gotti. Like, comment, subscribe, help to the Washington Commanders. Let me know what you guys think about this video in the comment section down below. Jamin Davis calling out Jack Del Rio. Let's see what this goes. Let's see where this goes. It's me and boy Wyatt Gotti. Peace. Cost me one time, that's gonna get you pop, get you drop, slide on the wall.